So he fought wildfires in California and Tennessee, and he helped Louisiana recover from devastating hurricanes. But he was suddenly fired from his job at the U.S. Forest Service, part of President Trump and Elon Musk's sweeping cuts to the federal workforce.
This decision coming as wildfires have dramatically increased in the last 10 years. Lanny Flaherty, a former range ecologist at the U.S. Forest Service, joins us now for more. So, Lanny, thank you for being with us. It must be a tough day for you, but talk to us a little bit about what it was like being in the middle of your assignment and discovering that Elon Musk or his boys had fired you.
Well, it's quite the rug pull. I've put in a lot of years to get where I am and have done nothing but an exemplary job. I mean, it's deeply insulting, and really just how poorly thought out and implemented this all is just unequivocally cruel. It's been a pretty staggering one. No one is getting rich working for the Forest Service, and people are mostly doing it because they're passionate about it. I think federal wages run something like 25% below comparable positions in the private sector. And it very much is a vocation of passion and dedication. And here we are tossing those people by the wayside, and it's going to hurt the public. It's going to affect so many aspects. It's going to affect our fire preparedness, our access to recreation in the forest, and contracts, timber sales. All of it will be affected because there's no one left to implement it. So my work is in range ecology. It's largely legal compliance through the Endangered Species Act, and without data, how do we know we're doing right by the land? And that's the position we're going to be left in here, is no data to justify any of our decisions or any of our actions. And you got to pardon me for using our and we. This has been my life for 13 years, and it's hard to not still reference it as the collective, even though I'm outside of that.
Just put into perspective, because we're looking at video of you in action. We've been looking at a lot of pictures of you. Just give us an idea of what you've been doing over the 13-year period, to help protect our land and protect us. I think a lot of folks, when they see these firings and they talk about certain departments, and they're not really getting a face to the job, and so everybody understands what exactly is being lost. So as we look at these photos and we watch you in action, tell us about just the highlights of why you've wanted to do this job for very little pay. What is it that drives you?
I think for me, it's the ability to take an active role in caring for and stewarding something I love. I mean, the opportunity to share our public lands and the incredible resources that we have there is such an immense opportunity for me. And the involvement in fire, being able to contribute to the public good and benefit the commons for every U.S. citizen and every person that visits the U.S. Just anybody that wants to enjoy our fantastic public spaces, and especially our beautiful mountains in the West. I mean, such wild biodiversity and such incredible ecosystems here, and it's something to be protected. And the Forest Service motto, well, up until recently, was caring for the land and serving people. And along with having to remove pronouns from our email signatures, we also had to remove that tagline. But that's something I very much took to heart. The Forest Service provides a service to the public, and access to those wild spaces is such an immense resource that we have as citizens. And I worry that the public's ability to enjoy it will suffer. Our ability to harvest timber will suffer. our ability to graze that land will suffer. I mean, when it comes down to litigation, there's no one out there taking data anymore. And how do we defend our actions?
Yeah, Lanny, Kira and I are sitting here. We're touched by the emotion and sense of mission that you bring to this, and the way, as you've talked, federal workers don't make as much as they could in the private sector. So, morale and that sense of mission that you articulate seems to me so important to a healthy federal workforce of whatever size. Do you think that morale is being harmed almost irreparably? Do you think that's the point, to kind of destroy the federal workforce or demoralize it in its current mission?
Absolutely. I really think there is no end state where these agencies will be able to function. The Forest Service has been gutted since the 80s. I mean, year over year, we've had staffing declines for all but the last couple years. And we were allowed to build some of these positions back up so that we were able to successfully complete the work mandated to us. And it's just, there's no end state where there's a functional Forest Service, where these timber sales are able to be effectively administered, where these grazing permits are able to be effectively administered. The personnel is just gone. And for instance, the district I worked on has no one to work the front desk anymore, and they're being told that they're unable to close anything due to staffing. So there's this question of how that work is going to be done. How will the bathrooms get clean? Yeah. How will the be staffed? How will any of that work out there get done? And it really is going to be a huge harm to the land and the public and their ability to utilize that land.
Well, the public may feel that at some point. Lanny Flaherty, we want to thank you so much for bringing your perspective and that once again, that sense of mission. We wish you the best of luck. Lanny Flaherty, thank you.
Thank you, Lanny.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.